Entertainment news today. You're such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. But there's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but need never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Hello, everybody. It's just me. Nobody likes me no more. They want to put up with me. So how you guys doing? Time for Midnight's Edge After Dark. Your favorite show on the YouTubes. Actually, Nick should be along shortly. Hopefully. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? I suppose I should share the stream out, let everybody know that we are live. Just like you should too, and hit that like button if you haven't done that already. We appreciate that around here. It does help us out here at the channel. Lets the algo know that you're here, you're live, you're not a bot of some sort. Lord knows what this algo thinks anymore. But how's everybody doing out there? I'm glad to see so many of you lovely folks hanging out with me today. Let's see here. Get this going, and then I'll check in to see who's hanging out with us today. I see we got Bryant Barth in the house. Tornadoes is here. Anthem is here. Thomas Payton, Snortopoopus. We got Void King in the house. So Tom wasn't late. No, I was waiting for everybody else. We got a super chat already from FKHC 2005, who sends in $1.99 to send in some love for Clobby. That's right. We do miss Clobby indeed. We got Deadman here. How you doing, Deadman? We got Mike Linux here as well. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. JPS47 is here. Good evening to you. Hail everybody in the chat. We got a few things to talk about, but if there's anything else you'd like us to talk about tonight, feel free to super chat us, just like FKHC 2005 did here. We appreciate that. It does help keep the lights on. And is it a Tom and Terry show? Well, for now, I guess. It probably won't be as soon as Nick shows up, but I don't know if anybody else is showing up. Everybody punked out on me. Then we got FKHC 2005 being our only sponsor so far, saying Tom is doing it solo. My God, help us all. Don't worry, I'll keep it in my pants. As far as you know. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Remember to share out the link to let everybody know that we are indeed live. Live and in your face. Neck and chest. So before everybody gets in here, let's tackle this quick news. Karen Gillan has joined Henry Cavill in the Highlander remake. This seems to round out the cast that is coming together. My guess is she will be playing one of the love interests, probably Heather If I remember right, that's the Irish one. Or Scottish one, sorry, not Irish. Tom is handling himself. He said handling. Funny. This is what happens when I'm by myself. I get distracted easily. Handle. Karen Gillian. Colleen Rogas, is there a filming day yet? Let me see if it says anything here. I think they're supposed to, oh, it's all chopped off. Come on now. Let's see. I think it's supposed to start this fall. Dude, don't see it here. So, yeah, my guess is it'll be just ramping up now and it'll be starting soon, if not within the next month or two, as I believe. I think it was August or September it was supposed to start. So, yeah, I think she's a good addition to the cast. It's rounding out nicely, although I'm not happy with every pick so far. But, hey, I mean, as long as the movie turns out okay, that's what really matters in the end. So, yeah. So hopefully you guys are excited to see Carrie Gillian, if I could speak, in the Highlander remake. Coming from Chad Stahelski for MGM Amazon, the streamer. This might be the shortest show we've ever did. I might be done with all the news before Nick even gets here. This is going to be crazy, because here's our other... Oh, we got Super Chats. Super Chats. Deadman says, is Price dead to you? Haven't seen him on Meet in a while. He's got the link. He can pop in anytime he wants. I know he's busy doing his thing, so not that I know of. Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle gifted 5 memberships, and thank you for that, Flying Blind. Hopefully you're one of the recipients of. And then FKHC 2005 sends in another super chat and says, Kim Cattrall turned 69 today. 69. Kim Cattrall. She was in Sex in the City. Sex in the City. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I love when it rains super chats and member gifts. Just like FKHC 2005 has been doing all show, and like Flying Blind and the rest. Thank you so much, guys, for that. So our second story tonight is Happy Gilmore 2 is breaking even more records. Evidently, it had a record-breaking 2.9 billion viewing minutes in its opening weekend. That's insane. Let's see what this says here. Happy Gilmore 2 continues to break streaming records. According to Nielsen streaming data, the long gestating comedy sequel was the #1 most streamed movie for the week of July 21st through 27th, with 2.9 billion viewing minutes, with the movie having launched on Netflix on July 25th. That viewership, it has set the record for the largest single week viewing total for a movie in the history of Nielsen streaming top 10. That's insane. The previous record was Glass Onion, which nabbed 2.2 billion minutes. Oh, so this dwarfed that. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah. Well, not dwarfed it, but it did do much better when it debuted back in December of 2023. It has marked the best opening streaming week for an Adam Sandler movie to date. Per Nielsen, Sandler's movies have generated over 61 billion minutes of viewing on Netflix. And that, my friends, is why Netflix keeps paying him money. He has starred in nearly a dozen original movies for Netflix, including Murder Mystery, Hubie Halloween, and The Week Of. Netflix previously reported that Happy Gilmore 2 drew 46.7 million views over its first 3 days on the platform, with views defined as total hours watched divided by the total runtime. That was the biggest U.S. opening weekend of all time for Netflix film, as well as the best ever for one of Sandler's movies. Film has been on the Netflix top 10 chart for the past 4 weeks and counting. So yeah, you see that? Eat your heart out, Mr. Zack Snyder. That's right. So yeah,
it's a combination of Dirty Dozen, Seven Samurai, and Star Wars in space.
So good for Adam and good for Netflix. That's a big deal for them. Makes you wonder why they just didn't release it in theaters first, but hey, can't complain when your model is that. As Tarantino was recently talking, he said, I'm not going to fault any of these companies for this being their model. I mean, that's their business model. So yeah. So there you go. And then we got Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle says, saw Weapons last night. Have some quibbles here and there, but loved it overall. Well, glad to hear you enjoyed it, Flying Blind. ActionCom says, I hear Midnight's Edge has a bounty if someone is brave enough to peel off the mask of the Cracker Barrel CEO and reveal it's really Alyssa Heinerscheid. We can collect a lot of Norwegian krona. Yeah, this is one of the strangest ones, because, I mean, it's not like they went... I mean, I know there was was there an interview? Did she say something about taking the white man out of the thing? Because otherwise, I just see it as mostly much to do about nothing. It's a company rebranding, and this happens every few years. This was like advertising 101. We were taught you rebrand every few years. It's just the way it works. And then we got JPS 47 who says, why do I think Happy Gilmore 3 will take place in space? Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm in space. Whoopity-doo. I can't hit my ball. I think that'd be funny. That might work. So yeah, so tell me what you guys think of a Happy Gilmore 2. Have you seen it yet? Are you thinking of seeing it? Are you disinterested? And I'm not kidding, because here we are 20 minutes deep. Or 10 minutes deep. And we only have one other story left. And that is Disney's Boy Trouble. Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z men amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles. Oh, imagine that.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Like maybe if you just listening to us for the last few years. Shit. Script Doctor's working. Script Doctor has excuses. So yeah. So what is going on here? Well, let's find out. Oops. Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty aren't the only ones looking for a prince. Leadership at Walt Disney Studios has been pressing Hollywood creatives in recent months. Multiple sources tell Variety for movies that will bring young men back to the brand in a meaningful way. Young men is defined here by sources as ages 13 to 28, aka Gen Z. So all you Zoomers out there. First, every film studio is looking for better ways to convert young audiences into habitual moviegoers. Here's the difference, though. Who wrote this? Matt Donnelly. And you may, and forgive me if you get into this part, but Disney was one of the few people to buy the most popular boy brands and turn them into girl brands. Pretty fucking stupid. Pretty fucking stupid. Yeah. So it says, numerous studies show that Gen Z men in particular are a lonely, gaming-obsessed group who were hampered in their formative years by COVID-19 lockdowns. You think? Do you think? Not the easiest segment to grasp. Wow. But what's surprising to producers, writers, and other partners in the larger industry is that Disney has been calling for original concepts to lure the demo back into the movies. Well, we wonder why. Because they have fucked Marvel. They have fucked Star Wars. Duh. This is the same Disney whose multi-billion-dollar content engines, Marvel and Lucasfilm, have stated men of all ages over almost 2 decades since the company acquired them. The sources say Disney has been seeking new IP and pitches such as splashy global adventures and treasure hunts. As we're right back where we were. Right back where we were. Lone Ranger, fucking John Carter, fucking Tron. We got another Tron movie even. We got another Pirates of the Caribbean movie coming. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Like that was the era where Disney was just grasping for straws, trying to get some kind of boys property to work for them. And they couldn't. Yeah. So anyhow, the sources say Disney has been seeking new IP pitches in such as Splashy Global Adventures. Yeah, we got that one. I think. As well as seasonal fare like films for the Halloween corridor. Well, they want some horror films. They want some of that horror money. They got enough of the horror money. They want some horror money. Calls come as Star Wars machine struggles to produce any film project in the superhero genre, sheds audiences by the minute. Well, and we wonder fucking why. Dude. The same shit that happened to Motu when they brought in She-Ra. Duh. While the two industries say the mandate to recruit young males goes as high as the C-suite, the task primarily has fallen on David Greenbaum, the former Searchlight Pictures co-head brought on in 2024 to run Disney's live-action film business. That label has been sorely lacking in guy-leaning fare like the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise for nearly 10 years. Studio insiders say the property is in active development. 1 second, guys.
Correctamundo.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake!
Okay, I think Sadie has settled down. Okay, so where were we here? Well, the former Searchlight Pictures co-head David Greenbaum brought on in 2024 to run Disney's live-action film business. That label has been sorely lacking in guy-leaning fare like the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise for nearly 10 years. Studio insiders say that the property is in active development, though not in its last reported iteration involving Margot Robbie. See? So say nothing of lackluster attempt to reboot and hand off Indiana Jones in 2023, which earned $383 million worldwide on a $300 million budget. That's not earning shit. Before marketing costs, even. A Disney source says that movies for Gen Z men are part of the overall strategy across all labels, but no more urgent than any other quadrant. Why do you think? Look, and I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, Superman didn't do so well, but it did do well in the U.S., and this is why. It did well with Gen Zers. Greenbaum recently hired Daria Sirsak, the savvy former Paramount Pictures co-chief, to assist in this effort. Greenbaum is beloved by talent, but has largely exited in the prestige indie sphere, while Sirsak shepherded films from franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog, A Quiet Place, and Smile. Some think the push for this demographic is simply Greenbaum trying to put his stamp on live action. Yet numerous power players who spoke with Variety see something ominous in the tea leaves. Ooh. When the execution is correct, Disney sweet spot at the movies has been millennials. That generation rapidly consumed classic vault titles like The Lion King, 101 Dalmatians, and Lilo and Stitch as kids. Now they bring their children in droves to see live-action reboots. My stutter is going off the charts, guys. This year's billion-dollar grosser Lilo and Stitch over-indexed with men and boys, Disney previously said. Gen Z is a different story. Built-in interest is not nearly as guaranteed for such an audience, which propelled Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie to nearly $1 billion haul. There's another great example. That was a game Gen Z played as very small kids, not to mention the euphoric viral moments it created for young men, filming key moments inside multiplexes and sharing them on platforms like TikTok See also Universal Pictures Gentle Minions trend in 2022. I don't remember this, but okay. Gen Z bros packed theaters in suits and ties for Minions: The Rise of Gru. Oh, okay. I was totally unaware of this one. As it stands, Disney is in line with Sony Pictures and Paramount in its market share for Gen Z, 10% of the ticket buyers in 2024. That's 2 points above Universal and 2 points below Warner Brothers. Hello, what did I just fucking say? That's right, kids. I fucking knew it. That's right. Concurrent to Greenbaum's hire, the corporation brought a $1.5 billion equity stake in gaming juggernaut Fortnite, which will incorporate Disney's iconic stable of characters. Two sources say Disney does not, however, enjoy movie rights to Fortnite itself, which would seem... Yeah, why didn't you get that? That is so stupid. That could have been their competitor to Minecraft right there. How dumb can you be? Yes, Disney was the unrefuted king of the box office last year. It will win this year with 2 films potentially. No, it won't. You are getting way a fucking ahead of yourself. Way ahead of yourself here. You better hope Zootopia 2 and Avatar do well for them to be able to be box office kings this year, because they ain't got fuck all else. Lilo and Stitch ain't going to help them that much. Minecraft is almost as much as Lilo and Stitch alone. So yeah, no. Whoever wrote this is on crack. I'm sorry, Mr. Or Mrs. Who was it again? Gotta scroll all the fucking way back up. Matt Donnelly. Yeah, no, Matt, you're wrong. That is not likely. We'll see, but not likely. Shit, even Universal probably outgrows fucking Disney. Yeah, you may say in the past they have, but that's what he basically says. In the past, they've done that in the fourth quarter. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know about this time. Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed as much on a quarterly earnings call this month, saying the film group won't favor existing IP over original material. The priority, Iger said, is to put out great movies. Yeah, bullshit. The Walt Disney Studio declined to provide comment for this story. I imagine they wouldn't. Much has been written about the narrowing audience for superhero movies. The performance of Marvel's latest release, Fantastic Four: First Steps, which aimed to launch yet another superhero franchise led by Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby, failed to meet expectations. That's despite good reviews, a promising opening weekend, and full attention of Marvel's czar, Kevin Feige. Star Wars has not produced a film in 7 fucking years. A big screen adaptation of Disney Plus hit The Mandalorian is coming next year. One top film executive at a Disney rival says every studio should be looking for originals as sequels and reboots continue to exhaust the culture, even if they're packing in moviegoers in short term. I never thought I'd say it. The exec muses about the Magic Kingdom's boy troubles despite them its gem of box office iconic IP. But it looks like Disney is going to have to start trying. Yeah, they might. Indeed. Disney's going to have to start trying. Really, they wouldn't even have to. They could have just let Marvel and Star Wars just do what they do. And had they not fucked with them, they'd be the biggest kids on the block. Like, this is what's so stupid about this whole fucking thing. But let's see what you guys are saying out there. We got Bucky Cat saying they're talking about bringing Depp back. Break out the alpacas, Disney. Exactly. They're desperate now. They have nothing else. They even said that in this article that the Margot Robbie one's off the table now. FKHC 2005 says just have Sadie for the whole stream tonight. Maybe. Deadman79 says, did you see the Hyde trailer? I have not. I'll have to check that out. And then Lost for Words has been a member for 42 months. Thank you for that. And then we got Nick Weiser coming in here at the last bit of the show here after I finished all the stories. I knew you were going to be late, but nobody else showed up.
Traffic was such a cunt, and I hate it. I hate it. But hi, everyone. Hi, chat. Hello, Tom.
Hey. I was at least hoping CC would be here. Well, we talked about all the stories, the Disney story. I got one thing left, and then I'm done.
Okay. Well, hey, let's go.
I was kind of hoping that CC would be here for this because, I mean, I know you're. I'm assuming you think they're all right, but I don't know how much of a Beatles fan you really are.
The problem is, outside the casual songs, like the hits, I've heard some of the more odd cuts, and I kind of like the odd cuts, but I got to hear more of that because I'm not into
Right.
like the song about like holding hands and stuff. But some of the weirder, more out there stuff, I was
The
kind
later
of taking
stuff.
a liking to
Yeah.
it. Is that what it is? Okay.
So you
I
like the
kinda
drug
liked
years,
what I heard.
basically. Yeah.
Okay, so is that what I like? Okay. See, I gotta hear more of that because what I heard out of that, I liked. And I would like to hear more of
Yeah.
it someday. I really genuinely would.
So anyway, we got this big announcement for Beatles fans today for the anniversary of the anthology. Let's take a look. I'm sure I'm gonna have to delete this, so if you all are wondering what happened to it, you're just gonna have to go watch it. Sorry. The type of stuff you don't like.
I need somebody
Then again, this trailer is done in a way that it might be YouTube friendly.
Could be.
Disney's usually not too bad. I gotta give them that.
Yeah, right. Who thought Disney of all companies?
So yeah, so what's going on here is we're getting a remastering of the original anthology series with a brand new episode.
Okay.
And the remastering is being done by Peter Jackson, so I'm not going to hold my breath on how good it's going to look. We're also getting a new book. And a remastering and remixing of the original 3 albums with a new volume added to it that will contain, as far as I know, I think the first 3 volumes are just straight up remasters of the original.
Is
then
it
the fourth
just
one-
remaster or is it remix and remaster? 'Cause
Okay,
there is a
remaster and
distinct-
remix. There's both. Okay, so like this is what my understanding as of right now is that these 3 albums are untouched. They're exactly the same as they were before, just remastered. And then on the 4th anthology, you actually get remixed versions of the 3 new songs that they released over the last few years. "Free as a Bird" that you just heard playing there, "Real Love," and the new one that just came out, "Now and Then." Which is just the same one we've already heard of Now and Then. But I heard the remixed version of "Free as a Bird" earlier today, and holy shit, they went back with that technology they used on Now and Then, and you can actually hear John Lennon's voice now, and it doesn't sound like he's in a tunnel 10 miles away. I know that means very little to you.
No,
That's what
I
I was
actually
like, I was hoping-
understand those
yeah.
things. But here's the thing, and my point of reference for this, oddly enough, a band we talked about last week was Megadeth. Megadeth, they did remix and remasters of albums I like, and I hated what they did with a raging passion with the remix and remaster because to me they're already albums that sounded fine the way they were.
Right.
And there are certain things that were done, like the bass should be lower in the mix, or like you could hear like the backing vocal parts were like the lines were like spoken differently or sung differently, and it made me crazy. I hated that they did that. So I actually understand the whole remix remastering because since I listened to some of those albums so obsessively, I would notice all the little things. So by the time I heard the remixes and remasters, I was pretty livid. Whereas if you just remaster the album without changing the actual songs itself, I like it when you remaster. To me, the only time an album should be remixed is if like the production's really bad or if the album's really bad and maybe you have a way of
Well, sometimes you need to
saving
do it for like taking it from analog to digital in certain respects. Because like what they used to do is just take the old two-track master,
yes,
compress the fuck out of it, and throw
Yeah.
that out there and say it's a remaster. See, now with a lot of these, what they're doing is they're going back to the original multi-track, so they're able to actually able to equalize each thing individually. Now, to some people like you, in some cases, that may not sound like the way you want to hear it, which is totally understandable. And then in some cases, for like certain people, it's like, oh, I'm hearing it in a new way that I've never heard it before, or the bass is deeper, the vocals are more present. I can hear the guitars and all that kind of stuff more than I could before. And some people, it's just not going to be their thing, and some people are going to be really into it. At least with the Beatles, it seems like they've given most of the times both versions.
yeah. Some albums
and
I like when they remix and remaster. Now, there are bands where they just straight remaster without remixing. I like that because it's basically all you're doing is just updating the production for more, like, I guess you could say current times, but you're not changing the actual songs, where that's kind of more of the remixing with that stuff.
In a way, yeah. I mean, it depends on your definition of change, and some are worse than others. I will definitely.
Oh yeah, and there's bands who've done it, and it does work. It was there are times I'll admit it, like a Black Sabbath album that I didn't like got a remix job from Tony Iommi, and all of a sudden it didn't make me fall in love with the album, but didn't make me appreciate the album in a new light. Yeah, it did. A very specific album. I'm like, oh okay, maybe I was a little hard on this song, and all it took was a good remixing and remastering of it. So yeah, some cases it worked, and maybe for the Beatles this does work. Maybe it does. I wouldn't know, but I believe
some fans won't be happy no matter what. Some fans will be.
Yeah.
But I think for this considering they have both versions on, I think most fans will be at least pleased. And Sander, I think you misread that. They actually mixed out Clarence's saxophone. Don't forget they removed Clarence. You know, he was the fifth Beatle. That's an SNL joke. Eddie Murphy was the fifth.
Okay.
He played saxophone.
Saxophone. I'll see about Homer.
Yeah, I know.
The way Lisa played her saxophone.
But it's funny because Eddie Murphy's sitting there being interviewed about it, and he's like, "I don't remember hearing any saxophone on those early albums." He's like, "Yeah, because they took all that off, man. I wrote all that shit." The girl loves you. They changed it. It's like the bitch loves you. She got a ticket to ride, says she got a ticket to ride, the bitch don't care. That used to be the real lyrics. They took all that out. They took credit for it. They stole it from the black man. I even came up with the haircuts.
Wow.
That's what he said. It's a great fucking skit. Anyway, Dead Man says, this is very much where Price should be here for. Oh yeah, Price would have been great for this one too, yeah. I don't know what he's been up to lately. He's more than welcome to be here, but hey, on that note, that's all I really had for today. And want to thank Nick for popping into the last minute. Thank you guys out there for all the support and the super chats. Hit the like button if you haven't done it already. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time. I'll be on the morning show. So, bye-sies.
Cute kitty.